Hi guys, first of all, I just want to say that these are all my personal opinions and you don't have to agree with them. I just thought it would be fun to talk about some K-pop opinions that, at least to me, really shouldn't be controversial. One thing I've noticed is that people sometimes make fandom feel way more complicated than it actually is. When you first get into K-pop, it can feel like there are all these invisible rules that everyone somehow knows except you. After a while, though, you realize that most of those rules aren't actually real. They are just expectations that people create for each other. For example, I've never really understood why changing your bias is treated like such a big deal. People change their favorite songs all the time, their favorite movies, their favorite colors, even their favorite foods. So why would it be strange for someone to connect with a different member over time? I feel like the whole point of being a fan is enjoying things naturally instead of forcing yourself to feel the same way forever just because that's how things started. That's probably one of the opinions I stand by the most. Sometimes it feels like people spend more time worrying about whether they are being a good fan than actually enjoying the group they like. Another thing I found funny is how people sometimes act as if liking the most popular member needs some sort of justification. If someone is popular, there is usually a reason for it. Maybe you like their personality, maybe you like their voice, maybe you think they're funny. It doesn't need to be deeper than that. People like who they like, and that's kind of the end of the conversation. I also feel like people should be allowed to lose interest in a group without making it into some huge dramatic thing. Sometimes your interests change naturally, and I don't think that means you suddenly hate the group or that all the years you spent supporting them mean nothing. There are groups that I used to listen to all the time and now I barely keep up with them. And that doesn't erase the memories or the happiness they gave me at that point in my life. I think it's completely normal to for hobbies and interests to evolve as we do. And this might be a slightly unpopular one, but I don't think every fan has to know absolutely everything about a group. Sometimes I'll see people asking the most specific questions imaginable, and I always think it's okay if you don't know the answer. I feel like social media sometimes create this idea that being a fan means becoming an encyclopedia of information when really it can be as simple as enjoying the music. I also think something that has become really common on TikTok and social media is seeing posts that say things like, if you don't know this specific song, you don't deserve concert tickets. If you weren't there during this era, you shouldn't go to the concert. And I feel like that kind of mindset is a bit strange. Concerts are meant to be enjoyed by anyone who likes the artist, not something that people have to qualify for. I also see people talking about traveling to other countries for concerts, and personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. In fact, I think it can be really exciting and fun to travel for a concert of an artist you love. It's something that has always existed anyway. People have been traveling for music events for years, but I guess nowadays everything gets judged more easily online and people tend to take things more seriously than they need to. I think a lot of these discussions come from the fact that fandoms are made up of thousands of different people, and naturally everyone is going to have different expectations. But sometimes the best thing you can do is stop worrying about those expectations and just enjoy things in your own way. After all, K-pop is supposed to be a hobby. It's supposed to be something fun to look forward to, not something that makes you feel like you're constantly doing something wrong. So yeah, those are just some opinions that I personally don't think should be controversial. Maybe you agree with them, maybe you don't, and that's completely fine. I think what matters the most is remembering that there isn't one perfect way to be a fan. Everyone enjoys things differently, and that's kind of what makes fandoms interesting in the first place. If something makes you happy, if you enjoy the music, if you enjoy the content, then that's really all that matters. And with that being said, thank you for listening to today's podcast, and I'll see you guys in the next one.